When we drove in, it looked like a disaster. All of their possessions from their homes were sitting by the curb, waiting for the pickup.
The whole operation, I think nobody understands, except the Red Cross maybe, what a difficult situation responding to an emergency can be. You have thousands of people called and being organized and working together on a moment's notice. It's almost impossible for things to work smoothly.
We see a lot of the physical damage on the news, and that's what people think of, but there's a whole emotional side to this whole process as well. People, young and old both, lose many times everything, from the youngest child who loses their teddy bear or their blankie, to the elderly couple who have lived a lifetime in a single house maybe. And along with all their physical possessions, they've lost a lot of their memories that have been stored in scrapbooks, videos, slides, memories of a whole lifetime.
The biggest struggle for me was emotionally, meeting these people and just wanting to give everything to them, but at the same time, you have to be strong for them. You have to let them know that you are there for them, and you have to put your emotions aside and be the rock that they're looking for. So.
There was a gentleman on the other side of the street. There were 2 lanes of traffic between us and him, and he was older. He kind of reminded me of my dad. And he was rolling up the street in one of those little motorized wheelchairs. And he looked over at me with this haunted look that I will never forget. So I got a meal and 2 bottles of water, and I took him across the street to him. And he said, "Thank you, and God bless you." And as he rolled up the street, he started crying, and the tears were rolling down his face.
One woman and she hadn't evacuated, and she watched the water rise to the 2nd floor, and she was waiting any minute for her house to collapse. She got so scared telling us that story, like she was back in that moment. And none of us knew what to say, but I think she was just looking for someone to talk to.
Always an awesome experience because you're helping people. It's wonderful because you're hands-on helping people. It's not sending a check. It's actually putting food in a container, handing it to somebody who needs the food. That's incredible, and it's a great feeling.
People saw the truck. They knew that we were there to help. They wanted to help. They said, "I have all these clothes, where can I leave them?" And the Red Cross doesn't actually accept clothes and distribute clothes, so I said, "Put them by the truck. We'll tell the people that are here that they're here, and they can come and they can rifle through and take what they need." Surprised, they would look at the truck and say, it said Cincinnati, Ohio. They'd say, "Did you come all the way from Ohio here to help us?" And we'd say, "Yes." We drove 10 hours to get here, and they would be dumbfounded. And I said, "Well, we're not the only ones. We've got people coming here from California and Florida and Washington."
I met a young gentleman, Mexican national, who had lost his job and his home due to flooding. And he was there by himself. His parents were in Manhattan, and they were fine. And we started talking. We kind of formed a little bond, and then he eventually started helping my team do our daily activities. And then eventually he became a part of our team, and he was up all night with us and doing just as much work as we did. And it was just amazing to see someone who had been affected by something so devastating take their time to help others when he was in the same position as them.
These people had been without power in the cold for 5 days. And she started looking through the piles of clothes for a pair of gloves. She just said, I just need some gloves, I'm so cold. And Karen, the local lady, took her gloves off and handed them to her.
There's one woman who, when she came in, she wasn't very responsive to the staff, to the Red Cross, to anybody really. She had 2 little dogs, and that was her whole world. And then one day we got portable showers, and she came up in her bathrobe, and the look on her face, she told us that it was the first shower she'd taken since the hurricane, so it'd been about a week and a half. And she was so happy, so thankful, and just, it made us all stop and be in that moment with her.
We received more God bless yous. Thank you for being here. What would we do without the Red Cross? It's amazing how this all works, and it does work.